In this video, we're looking at the question, how is inflation changing views of the national debt? The Congressional Budget Office Director's March 8th briefing to Congress projected that the Federal Reserve's target of a 2% inflation rate may not be reached until 2027. Although the CBO projects a gradual decline in inflation over that timeframe, it could be 4 more years before we see a pre-COVID level of inflation again. Given the longevity and severity of inflation, this has increased the cost of living, like gas prices and food costs, at levels not seen in 40 years. Voters believe that government spending policies of the last 2 years have contributed to worsening inflation and higher costs. In a recent national survey for Winning the Issues, a majority of voters believe government policies under President Biden and Democrats in Congress have caused inflation to increase and prices to go up, with 54% of the country believing that, and 57% of voters believing inflation is getting worse rather than better or not changing. Because of the connection between inflation and government policies, this has caused abstract, longer-term issues like the national deficit and debt to become more real to people with a personal impact, like the price of electricity, groceries, and gas. Also from the survey, from a list of 4 reasons to reduce the national debt, the most important reason among voters overall and across party was to lower inflation and the rising cost of goods in America at 32%. While all the reasons were important, lowering inflation was the most important, followed by lessening dependence on foreign nations like China at 23%, ensuring our children and grandchildren aren't saddled with debt at 21%, and protecting and strengthening government programs for the next generation at 17%. While there are differences in views about contributors to the debt and role of government spending, there is a recognition that we cannot continue on the current economic path. 2/3 of the electorate believes if we continue down this path, in the future we will be faced with higher taxes, higher interest rates, and an economy that doesn't work for working Americans, with a margin of 65 to 20 believing this. This includes 80% of Republicans, 2/3 of independents, and 1 out of 2 Democrats. There may be disagreements across party about policies to address our fiscal future, but these numbers show there can be some bipartisan consensus about a need to change course. This voter sentiment reflects what the CBO directors said to Congress. Changes in fiscal policy would need to be made to address the rising cost of interest and mitigate other adverse consequences of high and rising debt. Source material for this video includes the CBO Director's March 8th briefing to Congress, available at cbo.gov, and survey data available at winningtheissues.org. Thanks for watching.